All right, everybody. Well, after a very trying day, we have made it to Stafford Speedway. So the short version is, there was a massive internet problem that took out Delta, American Airlines, affected some other airlines, it affected visa processing. Maybe it affected you, but it definitely affected us because our flights out of Gainesville were canceled and we barely got here. Barely got here, but we are here. All right, so I had to say hi to David Walker, who is Zach's brother, but he's the guy that maintains all of these things, kind of behind the scenes at the Freedom Factory. You guys saw him get that awesome new golf cart thing. Golf cart? I don't know what the heck you want to call the thing. Really highly modified pit cart. Let's call it that. But we got a new engine in the Bullet. Hopefully, hopefully she lasts a little longer than the last one. Eddie's doing up my cool shirt. Yes, I do like the cool shirt system. Even though it's a little cooler up here, but it's still pretty warm. Pretty warm. I think
set up Princess's AC for him.
Easy. You used it, you liked it.
True.
And little secret information about Zach's got one too. And he actually thanked me after the Indy race because he's like, it was awesome. I didn't get tired in the car at all. But anyway, time for me to shoot up and go qualify. Literally, we've been here for 30 minutes, so time to make something happen. Hey, Eddie! I can feel it shifting in the car. I don't even know if it'll finish qualifying. Like, if it's flopping around that much, it might run the hoses into something or something. I mean, I can feel it shuddering just sitting here idling.
All right, so what you may have noticed is I kind of feel like something's going on with the car. And I can kind of feel that it's got a misfire. Feels like it's 7. Like when I rev it up, it's got kind of a little hesitation and kind of a vibration. And then I also feel that the engine feels like it's loose in the car. And this car was the last one to get worked on, and they ended up putting a motor and transmission in it after the Indy 800 race, where the car fell out after like 10 or 12 laps. It overheated, and you know, I didn't want to just run the motor till it blew up, but I knew that it was wounded. But thankfully they put another motor in it, but maybe there's a spark plug that's messed up. Maybe, you know, a wire got broken in the harness. I don't know, but we're going to at least go out and try to qualify and see if it'll make some kind of lap, but I know it's not going to be nearly what I'm capable of. But it is what it is. We'll have to do the best with what we've got.
All right, y'all, here we go. Car doesn't feel, the motor doesn't feel super great.
All right, so after a lap and a half of qualifying for me, somebody in our group spun out. So they threw a caution flag, which means that we only really had one timed lap. And I can already tell that the car's not going to go all that fast. So to try and make up for it, since it's going a little bit slower, I try to just stay on the gas a little bit longer on the straightaways and then pick up the throttle sooner on corner exit, because it doesn't make enough power to overcome the tires. So, you know, there's a level of grip that the car will maintain around the track, and since I'm not going as fast as it can if it had full power on the straightaways, that lets me drive a little bit deeper into the corner entry and then pick up the throttle sooner on corner exit.
Hey, this thing's on 7.
Yeah, I know. They called, I heard.
Wait till you see the motor too.
The what?
Pop the hood.
The what?
Pop the hood.
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do down there? Here's the deal, guys. I told you, and I say everything
All right, so you may have noticed before I even had the car stopped there, or right after I stopped the car, David Walker on the Cletus crew comes up, and he's already got a scan tool. He's got some tools because he could hear the car missing from in the pits. So we're chatting about some stuff here, and I tell him that, or I showed him that the motor was loose in the car, and we at least figure out that the motor's not going to fall out of the car, even though, believe it or not, I could feel that affecting the handling of the car. Like, as I picked up the throttle, you know, on corner exit, I could feel the weight of the engine shift over a little bit, and that was affecting how the front tires were gripping. I know it's one of those little things, but it affects how the car handles. But the misfire is really the bigger thing, because eventually that could lead to the engine hurting itself worse. Because if it's going to, you know, like, let's say if it's a coil and it's just washing that cylinder down with fuel for the entire race, that's not ideal, because it's going to just damage that cylinder. So after some deliberation back and forth, we decide to just put me in one of the backup cars, which means that Eddie and I need to swap over my cool shirt system, swap over the radios, get everything back situated, you know, get the seat adjusted, get the seat belts adjusted. But we think it's a pretty good car. It looks okay. It sounds good. It looks like it's a pretty fresh one. So I'll have to go see how it all works out. So the rest of this footage, or at least a good portion of the rest of the racing footage that's coming up, is from the official New England 900 broadcast on Freedom Plus. And if you guys aren't subscribed to that, I highly encourage you to go subscribe, because they are absolutely killing it when it comes to the production value. And you get to see all of us racing, as well as a whole lot of other stuff on Freedom Plus.
And we didn't want to see this, but a little bit of breaking news. Kevin Smith, former Freedom 500 champion, already going to the backup car. What happened, dude?
I was on 7 for the qualifying laps, and basically I was wide open the entire lap, so that was all she had. You know, hopefully this one hangs in there. We'll see.
What are your thoughts on airport travel?
I'm not a fan of Delta Airlines today. I'll be very honest with everyone here. It was bad. It was very bad.
You and several others.
I think Kevin sandbagged qualifying and then intentionally broke his car to get a fresh one.
No, you're denying that?
No. I gave it all it had, so that's what it was.
Hey, no pressure. You've won several of these Crown Vic races, but it's been a little bit.
It has been a little while, so I've had some good runs and taken myself out late in them, been rubbed on by some other people and kind of gotten taken out, and, you know, it is what it is, so we'll try to finish this one first, and then maybe we can be up front.
There's only one first winner of the inaugural New England 900, and it might be you. Kevin Smith going to go for it here tonight. He's rolling off from the 5th spot.
Fireworks there in the infield. I promise there'll be fireworks probably down in turn 1 and 2 after they take the green flag.
There will be fireworks aplenty here in the inaugural running of the New England 900. Pace car heads for the infield. Fans begin to rise to their feet. And here we go for the first time at Stafford Motor Speedway. The New England 900 is underway. The green is out.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing at Stafford Motor Speedway, boys and girls.
Down they go into turns 1 and 2. Right out of the gate, it's Roman Atwood quickly to the race lead. Forrest having issues as Forrest Lawson is way up the racetrack as he's going to drop all the way to the tail end of the field. New challenger up front, that's KSR. Kevin Smith on the rear bumper of Roman Atwood as they come by for the first time at full speed.
Saw Robbie Layton in that 42 car. He was all the way up on the high side battling for the 3rd positions. They go back off into turns 1 and 2.
New race leader, it's the 78 of Kevin Smith. As we see from the drone flying high behind the number 78 as you see them work their way down the back straightaway here at Stafford Motor Speedway as they work their way down into turns 3 and 4. Kevin Smith with a pretty nice lead built out front already as they are scrapping behind him. Roman Atwood trying to hold off the 661 Jim York. Doctor's orders who? He's all the way up into 4th already.
Just remember, though, Kevin Smith, KSR, you interviewed him down there, Jake, on the grid. A backup car, and we wasn't sure if Kevin was going to make it here or not, had travel issues today.
It has been quite the day for Kevin Smith, and it's quite the day here for several of our drivers mid-pack. There you see Cleveland side.
Yeah, Kevin Smith, he's won a number of these races in the Crown Vic, the 2021 Freedom 500, won the Indy 800, he's won the Danger Ranger a couple of times. So very used to victory lane in Cletus McFarland's events for Kevin Smith.
He looked to try to get win number 5 tonight, and I had asked him before, I said, what would it mean for him to win the inaugural New England 900? Well, he's off to a good start so far. Ready to go back to green as they work their way towards the restart zone. The green flag waves, and Kevin Smith and Dr. Parker lead him down the front stretch towards turn 1.
Dr. Parker in that 7 car got a really good restart. In fact, he looks like he's working on taking the lead on the outside through 1 and 2. But here comes Kevin Smith fighting back on the bottom.
There goes that advantage there on the bottom of the racetrack, and Kevin Smith doing a little bit of homework early on here, making sure that the bottom is where you want to be on the restart. Dr. Parker goes way up the racetrack, but he's going to keep the momentum wound up. It's going to be Kevin Smith at the line by a little bit more than half a car length. He'll look to try to clear the 7 as they work their way through turns 1 and 2. And how about Jim York? How in the heck is he even out there? And he's running side by side for 2nd right now with Dr. Parker.
But you just saw it in 1 and 2 from this overhead view, how he was working the apron, especially from the middle of 1 and 2 off.
I think feels like he had one slip away from him earlier this year at the Freedom 500. We'll see if he can work his way up through the field as we've still got a long way to go in this one as the green is back out with 67 laps to go as we've got 23 complete Kevin Smith able to retake the race lead down the back straightaway. The battle is for third. Cletus McFarland on the inside of Tommy Efya, trying to take that spot away. Behind him, Dr. Parker and Travis Pastrana, who started deep in the field, working his way up.
Yeah, we got him 3 wide for second, but Cletus McFarland, boy, he just drove it down into turn 1 and banked off the outside race car. He's going to take second, headed onto the back straightaway.
He had that horn blaring as he came by the front stretch to let everybody know, here comes Cletus, up into second and charging, and with his eyes set on the first place car of Kevin Smith. Side by side behind him for third as the fans give a cheer for Cletus as he moves to second.
I'm pretty impressed with that 13 car, Tommy Efya. Remember, never raced the Crown Vic, and he's been running inside the top 3, top 4 since the drop of the green flag.
He's looked very, very steady so far in this race, but again, a driver that doesn't have a ton of experience. We're going to see as this race continues on, attrition starts to show up, tires start to wear. Is he able to hang on to it and stay up at the front of the field? There's Dr. Parker battling with Jim York. York restarted second all the way back into 5th, and now in jeopardy of going to 6th as Travis Pastrana is trying to close in. There you see Pastrana on the inside in the 198. Don't want to get too close to that back bumper of the 7 of Dr. Parker as they look to try to clear Jim York at 3 and 4. It's a 3-car battle up front. Smith, Cletus, and Tommy Efya. Then you've got a bit of a gap back behind them. It's about a second, almost 2 seconds back to Travis Pastrana. And when we come back to the line this next time by, there's going to be 53 laps to go. So not even halfway through this New England 900. Kevin Smith's really dominated this thing so far. We talk about if we want to break this race down in stages. I would definitely say stage 1 has to go here to Kevin Smith from KSR. But there's some hungry drivers that are coming up behind him. And he's going to have Cletus McFarland to his outside as we get ready to go back to green as they head towards the restart zone.
Let's see what Cletus McFarland can do in that 4-car. Restarting on the outside, they clear the restart box. Green flag, back racing here.
Pretty good start there by KSR. Will Cletus dive to the bottom and try to protect that second spot? He does. Now Travis Pastrana wheel to wheel with Tommy Efya. Kevin Smith sideways off a 2. Gathers it back to the bottom and try to protect that second spot. He does. Now Travis Pastrana wheel to wheel with Tommy Efya. Kevin Smith sideways off a 2. Gathers it back up. Cletus backs off. Here goes Travis Pastrana on the inside for second. He and Cletus make contact.
That's exactly what Kevin Smith needs. He needs those 2 battling, but Cletus will stop going right.
Start watching drivers attacking the corners. Second, Kevin Smith goes from first to third, and as they come by the line to put lap 39, Cletus leads it. Cletus leads it. Stafford.
You know, we've talked about Cletus, a 2-time winner in the Freedom 500, but he's fallen on hard times in his races over the last year and a half or so.
He has not had the finishes nor the results that he is used to getting, but he is on a string of some pretty solid finishes, but is yet to get to victory lane since the 2023 Freedom 500. He's battling right now with the 198 of Travis Pastrana. Pastrana gets a great run off of turn number 4. Sets him up for a pass down on the bottom in 1 and 2. Can't quite get him clear. Yes, he does. Now Cletus tries to do a little bit of a slingshot move and tries to drop down to the bottom. Can't make it work. New race leader, Travis Pastrana.
Remember, Travis started all the way back on the back row, qualified second. The field was inverted. Took him 40 laps from the back row all the way to leading the New England 900. But Cletus McFarland pulls to the inside down in turn 1.
You've seen drivers that have run a little bit higher. If you leave that bottom groove open, and Cletus going all the way down to the banking, trying to take advantage of the quick way and the low line around the racetrack. These 2 drivers continuing to swap the lead back and forth up front. How about it, Stafford Motor Speedway? What a show. Cletus McFarland and Travis Pastrana leading the way.
Then you've got the battle for 4th. Tommy F. in the 13 got loose off turn 2 the last time. Greg Biffle in that 70 up there battling on the outside for 4.
Oh, Cletus and Travis, you want to battle it out for the race lead? Well, don't look now. Here comes the Biff. Greg Biffle up into 4th. Kevin Smith still rides right there in 3rd. And we got a car smoking in the middle of the field. It's J.H. Diesel. J.H. Diesel up in smoke. He continues on, and I believe that car having some overheating issues.
Has the same look as the 24 car, that maybe that engine is cooked. He's going to get down to the infield grass right now. We stay green, no caution.
Green flag is out as our defending Freedom 500 champion is done for the night, and the yellow flag has come out once again. We're only halfway home, 45 laps to go. 2 cars are out of this one, 17 still remain on track. And the man himself, Cletus McFarland, leads the way with Travis Pastrana in the 198 to the outside, and the green is underway, and the second half of the New England 900 gets underway.
Kevin Smith restarts on the inside of the second row. He stayed with Cletus, but look at Pastrana fighting on the outside through turns 1 and 2. Can he clear Cletus as they get on the backstretch?
Pastrana just barely able to get out in front of the number 4 car, but here comes Cletus charging back once again to the inside. Pastrana slides up the track. Cletus plants the right foot, tries to get side by side for the race lead, but it's going to be Pastrana taking the top spot.
Greg Biffle in that 70 car, he got shoved up high in 3 and 4 that last time. He's actually losing a spot to Tommy T. in that 13.
Tommy F. all the way back up into the 4th spot. Dr. Parker, contact as Tommy F. and Greg Biffle hit the outside wall. He drove Biffle right up into the outside wall, and the yellow flag is out. Lap complete on that last run, so still 44 laps to go in this one. Cletus McFarland, Travis Pastrana. Pastrana on the inside, elects the bottom as the race leader as he goes side by side with Cletus into turns 1 and 2. Cletus kind of had to catch it a little bit and shoved up the racetrack a little bit. Pastrana all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack is going to maintain the race lead. Here comes Kevin Smith for 2nd.
Yeah, Kevin Smith has made his way back up in there, as well as the 7 car, Parker Teeth and Turbos. He's cracked the top 5. Little contact 3 wide through turn 4, though.
3 wide and up the middle goes Roman Atwood with Ty Braun to the inside. Atwood, who was sliding back through the field earlier on tonight, has found his way back up in the top 5 after several drivers in front of him having some issue. Roman Atwood, new 4th place car, and here's Ty Braun cracking the top 5 for the first time tonight.
Love this drone shot. Tells you a lot about where these race cars are running and kind of how they're handling, what the balance is.
And we're going to continue to monitor the 70 of Greg Biffle and what his progress up through the field is. Meanwhile, Kevin Smith has taken the 2nd spot away as Cletus drops back to 3rd.
So this video is a really good, or shows really well how my driving differs from Travis and Cletus here, because you'll notice that right here I'm just gapping out on Cletus and I'm starting to reel in Travis, but then Travis drives away from me a little bit on corner entry, but then I start reeling him in on corner exit and then down the straightaway. So when both of these guys got by me, I initially started driving just like they were, and it's just kind of what happened, I guess you could say. Just kind of the, you know, when you're in the car, you kind of lose focus of, you know, the line you're trying to, or at least I lost focus of the line I was trying to run, which was a little bit of a higher entry and a slower entry to be able to power through the middle of the corner and then get the better run down the straightaways. And after a few laps of doing that, and then the caution, the caution that happened right before this little run here, like I was talking to Eddie, and I'm like, I'm overdriving the entry to the corner, and I felt like that was actually hurting the grip of the tires. Like I kind of was worried I was going to blow a tire if I kept driving like that. So I backed up to what I was doing before, had to refocus and back up my corner entry, and then really focus on getting the drive out of the corner. And sometimes I would bump the nitrous just a little bit because that would help it dig off the corner a little bit better, just for a couple of tenths of a second. And that let me reel these guys in and work back by them cleanly without wrecking them, and past them really without a whole lot of drama. And then I settled back into my normal line, and that line is dangerous on restarts in that style because everybody kind of dives in on the corner on the restart, and that's when you can get run into. It leaves you vulnerable. But the way I'm doing it, I feel like preserves the tires better and keeps the tires grippy for a longer period of time without getting them so hot that they lose grip and then I start to fall back. So that's one of my little tips and secrets, and hopefully nobody else watches this video.
Pulled away. Ty Braun has taken the 6th spot, has moved the 6th car up into the 4th spot. He's gotten around the 77 of Roman Atwood as we're on board again with Cletus. There you see, look at the kind of the different lines that these guys are taking into the corner. Pastrana a little bit higher line. Cletus using that apron through the middle of the corner. Not really, you see Travis kind of diamonding the corner, whereas Cletus is trying to run that higher entry, get down to the bottom of the racetrack and try to keep it there as long as he can.
I love the fact that the brake lights still work on these Crown Vics. We can tell how much brake they're using getting into the two ends of the racetrack at the end of these long straightaways.
I'll tell you what, at the end of the Freedom 500 earlier this year, there weren't a whole lot of brake lights being used as those drivers were absolutely going for it. We're going to have a battle brewing here for the 5th spot. Roman Atwood and Brent from PFI Speed have closed into each other as Roman has kind of lost touch with the 6 of Ty Braun. As there you see Cletus double box there, and the yellow flag is coming out as we've got problems on the speedway. I believe we're hearing we may have some debris on the speedway is what I'm hearing.
It comes at lap 60, so we're 2/3 of the way through the race, 60 down and 30 to go.
So it was Kevin Smith who kind of dominated that first stage of the race. For most of this second stint, really kind of flew back to 3rd, didn't really have, not that he necessarily didn't have the speed, but kind of laid back a little bit. Let Travis, let Cletus battle it out for the race lead up there. Could be his strategy there, kind of let those guys use up their equipment a little bit in the middle of the race and kind of save something. And again, we've talked about it throughout the evening. How much of that boost do you still have saved? How much can you use late in the race here?
Have not seen a yellow.
Nobody's gone a lap down yet either. That's something we had talked about, and we run into some of the smaller tracks like at the Freedom Factory that cars may go a lap down, but with this bigger speedway here, half-mile, semi-banked oval, that is Stafford Motor Speedway, haven't quite had that long enough green flag run to put anybody a lap down, so it's anybody's game still, anybody's race. And it's the green flag back out once again. Kevin Smith leads into the line. He's going to get clear of Pastrana before they get down to turn number 1. 3 wide for second. Cletus, Travis Pastrana, and Ty Braun's going to back off just a little bit as he goes side by side with Roman Atwood down the backstretch.
Definitely a strong battle for second. Cletus McFarland in the 4 on the inside. Pastrana in the 198 on the outside. Side by side as Kevin Smith starting to pull away just a little bit.
The race of the night so far has got to have been that battle between Cletus and Travis. And it's been going on now pretty much all race long, it feels like. They're not done yet. Kevin Smith's going to love to see them try to beat and bang on each other behind him. Roman Atwood can't get it to stick. Ty Braun's going to retake 4. Fans coming to their feet. Pace car heads towards the infield under a full moon Friday night. Kevin Smith, Cletus McFarland, 28 laps to go to settle it for the New England 900. The green is back out.
Ty Braun in that 6 car started on the inside the second row, did not get a good restart. Well, boy, Cletus McFarland did. Turns to the bottom through 1 and 2, side by side off turn 2.
And contact, and Kevin Smith goes around right in front of the rest of the field. Everyone having to take evasive maneuvers, everyone down through the grass. Jimmy.
Boy, Cletus McFarland then turns to the bottom, they 1-2 side by side off turn.
And Kevin Smith goes around right in front of the rest of the field. Everyone having to take evasive maneuvers, everyone down through the grass. Jimmy Oaks makes heavy contact into the 78 of Kevin Smith. Zach Walker has gone around, and we are under yellow once again.
It's pretty rare the top two gets together and one spins, and it's a single car accident.
That was incredible as Cletus comes around. He's going to head to the infield as he's got damage. Right front tire down on the number 4 car. Well, this is going to shake things up big time here at the front of the field. Let's take a look at the heat wave visual replay. Cletus down on the bottom of the racetrack and simply just pushed up the racetrack right into Kevin.
Remember, 9 degrees of banking. You've talked about getting on that apron. It's flat, and a lot of times when you do that, the car just walks up the racetrack, and that's exactly what happened right there.
Heavy contact to the right rear of the 78 of Smith, as we'll see again here on the replay. Cletus all the way down to the bottom. You saw him get into the grass, kicking up some of the dirt, and just washed right up the racetrack into the 78 of Smith. And it's the 76 machine, the 76 Jimmy Oaks making pretty heavy contact with the front of his car into the right rear of Kevin Smith. But Kevin Smith has continued rolling on, and he has not gone to the pits yet. Cletus has got a new Nitto right front Nitto tire, so he is going to rejoin the field. But again, going to have a lot of work to do. We're going to have 28 to go still, as we were unable to get a lap complete that time. And this is going to really change the complexion of the field. But like we see a lot of times in short track racing, if you bring out a yellow and you're fessing up to it, Kevin Smith kind of the wrong place at the wrong time, Kevin is going to get to benefit, and Kevin is going to get to keep his spot up at the front of the field.
But that will put, it appears, Ty Braun in that 6 car. He has been quiet all night long. You talked to him in driver introduction. A lot of simulator work, even though it wasn't at the Crown Vic. He has worked his way up there into the 2nd position. Again, the 6 car.
Think how things were at single file racing, as it looks like we're ready to go back green again. Lights are out on the Stafford Speedway pace car, and it's going to hang the hard left here into the infield, and we're ready to go back to green, still with 28 laps to go.
Yeah, Ty Braun on that last restart, restarted on the inside 2nd row, did not get a good restart. Let's see what he can do now that he's on the outside of row number 1.
Kevin Smith is on it. Better start for Ty this time, but I mean, Kevin just got such a good jump. I really don't think there was a whole lot Ty could do there. Stacking up down on the bottom, Brent from PFI Speed going to try to get 2 for the price of 1. He's going to go from 4th up into 2nd, gets clear of Ty Braun, and Jack Stan Jimmy's going to move up into 4th. Here comes Greg Biffle on the inside of Dr. Parker, trying to move back into the top 5.
Yeah, the 33 car, Brent with PFI, they opened the door in the middle going into 1 and 2 as he's now under fire from Ty Braun. And we got him spinning. There's the 18 car. That's Zach Walker, the winner from Indy, and the caution is out again. Get back racing here with 27 laps to go, and you talked about it, Jake. Restarts. It doesn't matter if it's a cup race at Pocono, the trucks racing at Indianapolis on the short track, or the Crown Vics here at Stafford Motor Speedway. Restarts is where you have to make it happen.
So this time, new player up there on the front row is going to be Brent from PFI Speed. It's been Kevin Smith all race long up in that top 3. Been involved in an incident with Cletus McFarland, able to get his spot back, and still hangs on to that top spot. Behind them, though, it's going to be Ty Braun and Jack Stan Jimmy, Greg Biffle and Dr. Parker in row number 3. Derek from Vice Grip Garage in 7th, and Cletus has worked his way back to 8th as the pace car heads for the infield. We're ready to go green with 27 laps to go at Stafford Motor Speedway as the New England 900 gets ready to resume once again. Kevin Smith has been on it with these restarts, and what the heck is going on there on the outside? Cletus McFarland has to back off as he looked to get a pretty good jump on that one.
He was trying to time it on the outside, but I will say the Kevin Smith brought him down really slow. He was all the way through the restart box before he fired off.
So a bit of a slower restart there as everybody tried to time that start behind him. Up front, single file for the top three. Here comes Greg Biffle. There you see Cletus on the inside of Dr. Parker. Right behind the 1776 of Derek from Vice Grip Garage. That's 6th, 7th, and 8th. Just outside the top 5. That's KSR. Kevin Smith continues to show the way ahead of Brent from PFI Speed. There you see on board Cletus's car. And Cletus not afraid still to go down to the bottom of the track and use that apron.
Yeah, we have single file now all the way back to about 9th or 10th as Kevin Smith is coming to 25 laps to go. About a 2 to 3 car lengths lead over second.
Love to see them trying to race a little harder behind him, but unfortunately for him, everybody's just kind of strung out too much right now up in the front of the field where they're not going to really race with each other very hard.
He just keeps fighting back.
Either the roof or the B-post, that's about it, but the rest of that car has definitely seen better days. Now here's something that we haven't seen a ton of so far. KSR, Kevin Smith, potentially, if we stay green here, going to start to have to work a little bit of lap traffic. He's going to put the 199 of Forrest Lawson a lap down here. Goes to try to get to his inside. Brett from they nearly got together there as Forrest was trying to get down to the bottom, but he did it in a spot right where KSR was coming out of the corner, so that could have been big.
I'm not sure Forrest knew exactly where he was going. I saw him go to the bottom, go to the top, and back to the bottom.
Well, Larry, what do you expect? He's never even seen a race before, let alone driven in one.
But he's still out there, and he's still digging.
Kicking. He's out there currently running in the 12th spot out of 19 cars, so that's a big tip of the cap to Forrest. And I mean, it's a lap down that still remains out on the speedway. So 11 cars still have a shot at it. I mean, anything can happen. As the lights are out on the pace car, Kevin Smith again gets to be the control car on this restart. Let's see how aggressive he is down there at the exit of turn number 4. Does he fire off a little earlier than he did before? Does he kind of take him a little bit longer into that box? You got to keep an eye out on those cars jumping around to the outside. Let's see what we have in store. 10 laps to go in the New England 900.
Keep an eye on that third row, the outside. Cletus McFarland back there. He's trying to keep tempo and time this restart. Lags a little bit behind. Kevin Smith got an amazing restart there.
Man, Ty Braun just could not get going on that start, and he is going to drop back to 4th. Greg Biffle up to 3rd. In the tire tracks of Brent from PFI Speed. Ty Braun and Cletus making contact down the back straightaway.
And Cletus McFarland in that 4 car on the outside. They're still side by side. We're coming to 9 laps to go.
9 to go at the line. Ty Braun able to get the spot away from Cletus, holds him off, puts Cletus back into 5th. Car getting sideways. There goes Jack Stand Jimmy. Jimmy's around down on the bottom of the racetrack, and he's going to get it going, and we are going to remain green. Oh, he's doing some donuts down there in turn number 1. Can't get it straightened out. Now he's got it. Green flag remains.
Still doing donuts.
And now they got to pull out the yellow because he just cannot get that thing straightened out. Jimmy's getting a little practice in for the burnout contest tomorrow, but unfortunately that is going to put us under the yellow once again. Only able to get 1 lap in as we'll take a look at what happened to Jimmy. Down there on the bottom of the racetrack, LS George maybe gave him a little help there?
Maybe a little bit of help, just a little bit of help.
Something about driving a black 3 car, driving a little aggressively down in the corner. You wouldn't have ever had to put out any fires or anything from a black number 3, did you?
I would just tell him, look, I wasn't driving the car.
No, it's not. That's him. Talk to him. With us here tonight. 9 laps to go. Kevin Smith, Brent from PFI Speed on that front row, but row number 2, Cletus McFarland, Ty Braun, Derek from Vice Grip Garage up into the top 5 as the pace car heads for the infield. We're ready to go back to green. 9 laps remaining in the New England 900. Kevin Smith leads them through the restart zone, and the green flag is back out. And again, Kevin Smith with a great restart.
And much to my surprise, Cletus McFarland in the 4 did not get a good restart whatsoever. In fact, he's going to fall back to 3rd and fall in the clutches maybe of Ty Braun. But now Brent PFI Speed, he's got an issue stacking them up on the backstretch.
Brent from PFI Speed went all the way down on the bottom of the racetrack and could not make it work. It looks like the 33 might have a tire down. He's looking to try to get to the infield. Can't get that thing to turn. That left front might be down, and Brent from PFI Speed has gone from second all the way to the tail end of the field, and it looks like he's going to stop on the bottom of the racetrack, and he is not going to be able to get that thing back to the pit area, and we are going to be under yellow once. This one, 8 to go. Pace car gets ready to head in once again, and it's going to be KSR, Kevin Smith, Cletus McFarland on the outside of the front row with Ty Braun. And LS George, where did he come from? Up into 4th. Green is out, and again, KSR with a great start. Ty Braun just cannot get going. Cletus McFarland to 2nd, and here comes LS George in 3rd.
Yeah, LS George in that 3 car got a great restart. Here goes Cletus McFarland all over the bumper of Kevin Smith down the back straightaway. Kevin pulls away by about a half a car length.
Cletus did not come here to run 2nd tonight. The lights are blaring out on the front of the field as Cletus looks to the inside of KSR for the lead. Down they go into turns 1 and 2. Kevin able to hold him off for the time being. LS George right there. They make contact. Up the track goes Kevin Smith. Right in front of LS George and the rest of the field. Ty Braun has gone around. Yellow is out. And for the 2nd time tonight, Cletus McFarland and Kevin Smith have gotten together at the front of the field, Larry.
Are they going to give Kevin Smith, though, the lead back?
I don't know. We
they
saw
did earlier.
that earlier.
They did earlier. Yes,
what
did.
are they going to do here?
He thinks they are because he's pulling back up there. Let's take a look at this replay here. Yeah, we could see this happening. We could see this coming right here.
He was pretty sideways all on his own there, but did he get help before that? We'll have to check and see. Oh, and they're keeping the number 4. They're parking him down here on the front stretch. Cletus is just blaring on the horn right now as you see the replay again, and LS George absolutely nowhere to go there. Yeah, and that's a tough call. It's a tough call to make right here. You saw the precedent from earlier. What are you going to do?
There's where it all
there's
started.
The contact. Yeah, we saw the replay. Yeah. I think we saw it a little bit.
There was no question. I could see that happening before they turned off the front straightaway down into turn 1.
So the field, they have stopped them down in turns 1 and 2 while they're working on picking up some debris, and they're allowing the safety personnel out on the track to clean things up as it got a bit messy over there in turn number 2. So if Cletus is going to the rear, if they give Kevin his spot back, I mean, this is going to make things interesting because LS George got a piece of that as well. But look who's up front there. They just moved him back a spot to get everybody in the proper order. But Travis Pastrana is right there, and so is our Indy 800 winner, Zach Walker, who's had some issues tonight as well. But he's battled through it as well.
Well, it looks like to me Kevin Smith is back up as the leader. To me, I'm not saying that's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, but the precedent had been set earlier.
Yep. So up front, I mean, that it just seems like the inside second row, it doesn't matter who's been there, whoever it's been, has just not been able to get the kind of starts like Kevin has been doing. That they told the drivers in the drivers meeting on the restarts, you want to start in first gear, and when you get the RPM up high enough, then you want to kick it up into into drive. And I feel like maybe some of the drivers aren't doing that. Cletus is stopping again here on the front stretch, and he's climbing out. He's upset. AJ, our flagman, telling him to go to the back, and you don't want to get that black flag waved at you. He's threatening him. I don't care if your name's on the race. Now, the black flag was not waved at him, or has it? Because they're saying here on the screen that you're done, but they're showing Cletus he's got to go back to the rear. I don't know. Cletus has got that helmet. We've seen that toss before.
We've seen the helmet throw. We've seen the helmet throw.
Cletus is
Cletus,
waiting.
if you're going to throw it, make sure you're accurate. Make sure you're accurate.
Here comes the field coming by the start-finish line. I think we know who Cletus has got his eye on. And he tosses the helmet. and connects.
This may be the first time I have seen a driver dump a driver and then get out and throw his helmet at the driver he dumped.
Yeah,
This will be a first.
That would be a first. And no offense to Cletus, I'm going to give the Tony helmet throw a little bit of a better grade than that one. That's a nice helmet, though. You don't want to break that. I think he's got some money invested in that one. So he's gonna check underneath, make sure everything's still good. He's gonna climb back in, and he's gonna have to try to go back to the tail end of the field.
Well, I'm just glad he's getting back in the car and moving it. I did see a certain Xfinity Series driver. They told him to park his car one time. He parked it right on the start-finish line.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And that guy, he's from down in my neck of the woods, and he has got some serious fun. That's a pretty good throw.
It was
there.
accurate. I'll give him a 10 for accuracy. Now, speed, not a lot of speed, but very accurate.
Didn't have the speed of Tony Stewart, but the accuracy of Ward Burton. So that was pretty good. Times this right. Actually, no, he's going to get there just in time. I was going to say, if he times this right, he's going to have a lot of momentum built up, but he's going to be there at the tail end of the field. Far from over here, Larry, 7 to go.
I don't know if Cletus uses a spotter, but a spotter could have paid dividends right there by helping him time this restart.
Here we go. Lights are out. We're ready to go back green. And Cletus on the bottom.
That put a whole new meaning to jumping the restart.
Oh, my goodness. All the way from worst to fifth. I'll be curious to see the flag stand on this one. Cars up into the wall. It's Greg Biffle. And that one is not going to buff out. And Biffle is done.
We stay green.
Green remains out as Biffle has been able to get down to the infield and out of harm's way. Derek from Vice Grip Garage also looks to have gotten a piece from that as well. He's down to the infield. His night might be over as well. KSR with the lead. Travis Pastrana in second. Third is LS George. Zach Walker up to fourth, and Cletus McFarland up to fifth, and they're coming to the line. 5 laps to go as you see Biffle there getting taken out. Here comes Smith to the line. 5 laps remaining, starting to open up about a 9/10 of a second lead over Pastrana. Pastrana leaves the bottom of the racetrack open. LS George looks to make a move. Pastrana didn't realize he was there. They made contact. Continue on, though. Zach Walker on the outside, trying to get around the 3 of LS George. Brent from PFI Speed is slow on the front stretch, and the yellow flag is out. Yellow flag coming out.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get a yellow flag for Biffle, who sat down there in the grass in 1 and 2, but he finally got his 70 car moving. But that's going to still put us at 5 to go with another restart.
Tonight, are we going to get this one in here, Larry? What do you think?
I don't know that I would think we could make the last 5 laps without another caution, because they know there's only 5 laps to go.
5 laps remaining in this one as the pace car gets ready to head in. Once again, Kevin Smith on the inside and Travis Pastrana going to restart to the outside. Pastrana's never won any of these Cletus McFarland races. Could he be the winner of the inaugural New England 900? We're going to find out here in 5 laps. LS George right on the back bumper of Kevin Smith, and Kevin again gets a great jump and a great restart. He's going to pull away from Pastrana. Pastrana's going to try to block the advance of LS George down on the bottom. Zach Walker going to wash up the track just a little bit as Cletus goes side by side with Jack Stan Jimmy for 5th.
Either Kevin Smith gets really good restarts or everybody else gets bad restarts, because he pulls away from every single one of them, and there's been plenty of them.
My first question to Kevin would be, what are you doing on these restarts differently than everybody else? But I don't know if he'd want to tell his secret. That last time by, Cletus and Jack Stan
Contact down at 3 and 4. They're going to do the same at 1 and 2. Pastrana went way up the racetrack. That opens the door. Here comes LS George to second. That almost opened the door for Zach Walker to get third away. Yeah, they restart in first gear, and then they shift to second, and that's what they race in second gear. LS George, remember, he was your fast qualifier earlier tonight that had to start all the way in the tail end of the field. He has somehow, some way survived all the carnage and all the chaos, and currently rides in second with less than 3 laps remaining. This next time by, we're going to see 2 laps to go. Kevin just saying as he's pulled away now to a good 5, 6, 7 car length lead. Guys, let's try to get these last 2 laps. Back in 2021 and a winner at Indianapolis back in 2023. Here goes Pastrana.
Kevin Smith just saying as he's pulled away now to a good 5, 6, 7 car length lead. Guys, let's try to get these last 2 laps in.
Kevin Smith, a former winner of the Freedom 500 back in 2021 and a winner at Indianapolis back in 2023. Here goes Pastrana sending it. Now I'm curious to see which drivers still have that boost left at the end and when and where can they use it. Coming out of turn number 4, the white flag waves for the 78 of Kevin Smith.
Pastrana has taken over that second place as they go through turns 1 and 2.
Les George taking a peek down to the bottom, trying to get that second spot away. But for the driver of the number 78, he had to start tonight in a backup car. Works his way through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. The winner of the inaugural New England 900 is Kevin Smith from KSR. He holds off the 198 of Travis Pastrana in second.
Hang on to the race lead, and Kevin Smith is going to get to celebrate the win here at Stafford Motor Speedway, winning the inaugural win. Now his 5th win, 2 wins in the Danger Ranger, a Freedom 500 crown, an Indy 800 crown, and now the New England 900 belongs to KSR as he is burning it down on the racetrack of Stafford Motor Speedway. Yes, he does. Lights are going out over the speedway, and we're about to.
Here he is. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for your boy, Kevin Smith. Come on. And what'd you think of that fireworks show? Are you not entertained? Literally, Kevin had to fight for his life out there. Brother, you were first for a while, and then second, third, fourth. Tell us how it went.
It was a very tough race. This car was way better than the one I qualified with. Thanks to David and all the crew guys for putting so much work in. Thanks to Garrett for putting these shows on. Thanks to all of you guys for showing up, supporting all of us, following us on YouTube. You guys absolutely rock. I cannot thank you enough for doing all this. I've run up front at a few of them, crashed myself. Man, I really wanted this one bad, and I was, every caution, I'm like, come on, what have I got to do to win this thing? And if I kept jumping everybody, nitrogen them on the restarts, and it worked.
Dude, I could not catch you on the restarts. By the way, I want to point out, when I tapped him over there, he spun himself out. We all saw it. It's all right, though. It's all right. They watched the replay 4 times, and they reasoned in your direction, which I disagree with. But, hey, listen, the referees or the race officials called it, so it is what it is. I got to give it to you, brother. You raced your heart out. Every lap, it was like a battle with either me, Pastrana. I saw Biffle was up rubbing you. I saw Ty was running into you. Brent ran into you. I mean, you made contact with half the field. Your car was brand new. Wow.
I did door check Biffle. I didn't mean to. Sorry, Biff. Think you're awesome.
All right, guys. Kevin Smith, everyone, make some noise. Yeah, hey, what are you going to do with that lawnmower, brother? Do you have a lawn that big? Do you need that unit?
Oh, yeah. My yard has not been mowed in like 2 weeks because I've been too busy doing other stuff. But, hey, for everybody, every time they put the microphone in my face, I forget to mention my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to my channel. Follow along with us. We've been doing stuff with Garrett and all you guys for so long. Thank you to those that do follow us. And, again, thank you all for coming out.
Woo! Hey, when was your last win? Your last win, it was last year, Indy 800s. All right, dude, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Only 3 races in between then and now, right? 4, something like that. All right, let's see who we got up next. Ty, my boy. You ran hard. Who is watching Ty out there?
You put me on that whiteboard in 16th and said I wasn't aggressive enough, so I stepped it up a notch.
I saw it, dude. You ran into me.
No, hey, don't get in the way.
Good job out there, man. Pastrana, come on up, brother. I'll tell you what, the person who hit me the most today was this guy right here. Good racing.
Every time I got behind this man, I let him know I was there, but I just bumped him to see how good he was at drifting, because he's a drift guy. And then he lets me go by, punched me in the back corner. I did a 360, kept going, that was fun. But then, so my car's good. We're running 1-2. I mean, get her done, it was awesome. Hell yeah, brother. He spins the pace car, it gives me a flat front right. So I go from second or third place, I gotta go all the way back. And then you spun me a 360. But you know what, I was trying to make you slide every corner. Was that fun or what?
Hey, you did still finish in front of me.
It's a car you don't have to fix. Except for where you hit me and the pace car hit me, that thing's beautiful. And when I hit you.
Dude, that was amazing. Racing with Travis was probably the highlight of the race for me. I laughed so hard because I spun out the pace car and I thought like I spun him right into the infield and I hear a crunch behind me and I'm like, what? What did he hit? And they come on the radio, they go, Travis just ran into him. I was dying in my car. Whew. All right, well, let me give a big thanks to Stafford Motor Speedway for making this happen. I mean, let's hear it for the track. Let's hear it for the track because, guys, I hope you all understand that racetracks like this with a big following and a huge regular crowd, they don't just let anybody come in here. So I want to give a big thanks to the Stafford Speedway family for trusting us with their racetrack. I'm sorry about running into your pace car. I'll buy you a bumper, whatever you need. But we have had such a great time working with this facility. So big thanks to Nitto Tire too. This could not be possible without Nitto Tire, NOS Nitrous Systems, RaceQuip Safety Systems, and all the Freedom Factory crew. Let's hear it for the Freedom Factory boys. All right. One last thing. Who's ready for burnouts tomorrow? Well, then I'm going to end off this live stream and call it a night. This has been the New England 900 at Stafford Motor Speedway. Thanks for watching. Do it for Dale. Whoa, frickin'. See you later.
All right, everybody. Well, you might have been wondering why there was no in-car footage of the New England 900. And short story is we forgot to turn it on. We filmed qualifying, I think, but during the race in the thrash to get switched from that car that was running on 7 cylinders and had a very, very broken driver's side motor mount to this car, which obviously ran pretty well. And I thought there towards the end, after a couple of contacts where Garrett spun me the one time and then getting spun in front of the field and run into by other people, steering wheel wasn't quite straight, but it was good enough to bring home the win. And I'll tell you, like, these things are not at all easy to win. It is a fight. You know, you can be the best driver out there and get taken out on a restart by somebody just way over driving the corner entry, but didn't happen to us today. Whew. I'm headed to the hotel to get some sleep and then fly back home tomorrow. But anyways, thank you all for watching, subscribing, following along. If you're new here, just because of the New England 900 win, thanks for stopping by. And hope you follow along with the channel some more. We do a lot of drag and drive builds, as well as play with some road race cars and all kinds of good stuff. So anyways, we'll see you guys next time. Number 1, 78, win with KSR. Woo. And huge thanks to Sleepyhead over here.
I'm tired. Let's go. We have a 32-minute drive that I'm going to sleep 31 minutes of.
That's an accurate thing.
Good job. Good driving today.
Nice spotting.
Yeah.
Like, he was my eyes in the sky, and the back window was completely covered with very crappy window tint. I could see nothing out of the back window, so it was all Eddie.
That's right.
That's right. That's 2 wins we got now.
I know.
Yeah. Sweet. All right. Now we'll see you guys next time.